How's it going? My name is Jason, and I do a lot of stuff around the house. I often find that YouTube and Google don't really have the information that I'm looking for. I'm not sure if it's because I want to do things more difficult or because I want to do things the way I think they should be done. But regardless, I'm going to go through a couple things with you today. First thing I want to do around the house is replace the hose bib in my backyard. As you can see here, this thing is in the wall, real loose, just coming out with pecks to this simple hose bib. I live in southern Arizona. I'm not too worried about freezing and bursting my pipes, but it does get below freezing sometimes. So what I want to do is remove this and replace it with an anti-frost silcock. Essentially it goes in the wall, and when you close the valve, it closes off on the inside, prevents freezing and bursting of the pipes. Plus I'm gonna not have pecks coming out here. I'm gonna actually have some solid metal, so it's a little more secure. I'm gonna secure it from the inside of the wall as well. Problem I have is I don't have a crawl space or anywhere to access this very well. I'm gonna have to open up the drywall, which happens to be in my closet of my master bedroom. So first thing I'm gonna do is figure out where that is. I've got a window over here, which I think is probably gonna be the easiest thing to measure from. So I'll measure from the edge of the window to my hose bib. And then just to make sure, I'll measure from the edge of the wall there to here. I'll do some calculation on the inside for wall thickness and whatnot. So I'll get going. All right, so I got a lot of stuff in the closet here, but I'm gonna go ahead and measure from my window. 114 inches. Let me just about here. Now I'm gonna measure from the wall over, subtracting about 5.5 inches, which is right there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close enough. All right, so now I need to measure the vertical. So we're gonna be looking for 13 inches up from the ground to get our height. That's gonna be right here. Okay, so I've centered off my measurements from the wall to here, from the window to here, and I got my height. So that should be good enough. We're gonna end up cutting a larger access hole in here, so it doesn't have to be 100% dead on, but it'll get us in the ballpark. Next, I'm gonna wanna find a stud if I can. When I replace the drywall, it's gonna make it a lot easier if I can find a stud in here to screw the drywall back onto. If you don't have that, if you're in the middle of your 16-inch void, you can always add some additional wood on the inside, screw on the drywall piece that's already connected to the wall, and then screw on the replacement piece. Makes it pretty easy, so we'll see if this thing works. All right, there's our stud. So my measurement's probably a little off. My guess is it's on this side of the stud based on this mark here. So when I cut, I'm gonna actually go this way just a little bit further. One of the things I like to do before I go drilling into my wall, especially where there might be pipes or wires or water lines, is to drill a small hole, and then I insert this sweet little USB camera here. It's got a light on the end. It's going to let me see what's going on inside the wall before I put a big hole in it or potentially do any serious damage.
if it's not the right spot, or if I decide to change my mind, I can throw a little mud in there and it's not a problem. So I'm going to go a little bit left and low of where I think this hose is at. That depth should be good. I'll check it, make sure I'm all the way through. Yeah, got a little bit of insulation here, so I may or may not be able to see anything, but we're going to find out. All right, so this thing is handy. It has a adjustable light, so you can make it brighter or dimmer, which kind of came in handy here, but I really wish there was an adjustable focus. That would be nice. But essentially what we found is we went in here, and just up and to the right, about here, is actually the pipe that we're looking for. So measured correctly. What I could tell was that the pipe looks like it's a copper connection. It must transition to PEX going out, but or it's a reddish PEX. Hard to say, but it's coming from this direction here, and at 90 elbows, and goes out the wall on the exterior. So I don't want to come over here and start cutting too much, because that's where the water line is. I can definitely cut more freely on this side to start, and work my way over, and just being real careful, and then open it up. I'm a little worried about the depth, because I was hoping to get a 4-inch silcock, but then with the PEX connector and all that stuff, I don't know how well that's going to work. So if I put my pencil in there and pull that out and measure that, that is from this side of the drywall to the back side of the exterior wall. That's not a lot of space in there. So I've got fairly thin walls. I might need to decide on a different solution, or maybe there's just a shorter anti-frost silcock that I can get. We'll see. I won't know for sure until I open this thing up and really can get in there and measure, but I'm not ready to put an order in for that device just yet.